Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's showing of the Red Hot Racing League Xfinity Series. Tonight, we take on the same track as the trucks did last night. We're here in the corn state of Iowa. So, Kevin, you tell me, what do you think after last night's incidents we saw there? We saw some great racing there in the third stage, and it didn't come down to strategy like we thought it would, but it did come down to limiting mistakes, and we saw a couple of drivers limit their mistakes and manage to come home with great finishes and great points races. What do you think tonight will be the keys to victory, and how do you think this race is going to play out here with these Xfinity cars being a little bit different than the trucks here at Iowa?
Well, I think first of all, to answer the last question there, I think as far as the how the race itself plays out, I think it'll play out very similarly, probably to how Stage 3 of last night's truck race did. You'll probably get some green flag racing, but you'll have some battling going on there too. Of course, tire wear again will be a factor. Um, Fuel will be as well. We'll get to that in a little while. All those things combined, I mean, one thing I can say that I've noticed from my time commentating and racing at this track is, for whatever reason, it seems like the Xfinity cars are a little bit more capable of using the other two lanes here, or three lanes besides just the bottom. You can run that high side if you want. You can run the middle, those things, and the cars work a little bit better. We saw it in the trucks last night, and it worked okay, but for the most part, it was on the bottom. And I think while the bottom will obviously be the preferred groove again here tonight, I definitely don't think guys will be necessarily shy of going to those other lanes, which I think will ultimately put on a better racing product. I also, obviously, we know, the first two stages of the truck race were pretty chaotic last night. I don't expect that to be the case. We might get some cautions here and there, but I don't expect nearly as many incidents that we had in the first two stages this time around throughout this race. But at the same time, I probably just jinxed us. So hopefully I didn't. The commentator's curse, I think it's real. I've seen it happen so many times, but that's another story for another day. Either way, I'm really excited for how this thing's going to play out. I think we're in for a really good race tonight. This track always puts on some good racing. Some of the best finishes I've ever called have been at this racetrack, so I'm really looking forward to it. And based on what I saw last night, obviously, Track Bar dominated yesterday. Well, he's not in the field this time, so you look through the field this time around, and there's some heavy hitters here too that I think you have to watch to be competing for this win. Obviously, Drew's going to be racing again. He finished second last night. Asylums, who's usually really quick here. He struggled a little bit last night, but I think he had a faster truck than where he finished. So I expect that same speed to be carried over. I'm pretty sure Toasted is racing as well. So Toasted is somebody who's pretty good on the race. So I think he'll be definitely one to watch. Guys like Doc Hudson, who's actually, I think, making his debut tonight. So many guys throughout this field that I think will be competitive. And again, we've had 3 different truck winners. We've had 2 Xfinity winners to this point. Won't be surprised if we see the trend continue and have a third different winner at the end of the night, Gavin.
Yeah, I mean, talking about good finishes, we had one heck of a finish last race at Chicagoland in this series, and it was a huge battle at the end between Thrills and Ward Burton, and they just battled it out to the very end of it. And at the end of the day, Thrills managed to win with that undercut strategy. I don't know if undercut strategy will play into people's hands here tonight, but yeah, this track definitely is as much of a strategic racing surface as it is a speed surface. So both things probably matter around the same, I would say, and unlike other tracks where, speed is the main thing, or maybe, like a road course where you gotta, keep a cool head and hit your marks, and that's more of a strategy racetrack in my opinion. But, tons of factors here that can play into what we're gonna see tonight. And,
Ladies, can we join?
we got a lot of beautiful race cars ready to go as we are here at Iowa, ready to get started. 2 pace laps here as we wait for our guys to get together, and once they get bunched up here in these first 2 pace laps, we'll see if that see what type of racing we're gonna get tonight. But I'm kind of hyped. I'm hyped for what we're about to see. Probably the trend for another first-time winner on the horizon. That's possible. I mean, when you're brand new, it's kind of something, it's nothing new to see, but we might see a new face in victory lane here tonight, and we also might not. We might see a repeat. I mean, there's tons of strong competitors out here at Iowa tonight. I know Kevin mentioned a few, but we know who we saw last night, and those guys definitely going to be able to have an advantage over those who maybe didn't run the truck race, because they will have already ran the surface in race day format, so they'll have that under their belts and ready to strap those belts
let us know when we're
tight
about to go.
and get ready to roll here, because I believe we're formed up going green this time. Asylums will be your pole sitter for tonight. He will be the one bringing us to the green.
Oh,
so we'll see here. As we go green, here we go. Casey Master leading us to the green with the 98 on his high side of Holy Nugget. Down into turn one, here they go. 2 Fords on the front row. Casey Master already off to a fairly good start. Kevin, he's got a huge lead already. I don't know, is this a saving strategy stage?
Send me another invite.
But,
my stuff glitched out.
Asylums is kind of on his own little island right now as he continues to lead right now. He's got a fairly decent amount of space between him and second. Maybe his fuel gear's a little faster. Maybe he doesn't have one. Maybe he's just going hard all the way throughout this stage, but we'll see how that plays out, as I know fuel saving could play a factor here. We see some shuffling around towards the middle of the pack. We're going to take a look here from Crotom in that 47 Trump 2020 car. We're going to see what he sees right here, as he has a swarm of cars around him. He's got them all around, and we'll see how his race plays out here, as he started kind of towards the back. He just got through all that traffic right there, so good work on his part. Back up to the front, though, Asylums. He's at the lead. He's got I can't even see, looks like the 44 and the 92 right behind him. They're battling, though, really early in this race. Kevin?
Indeed, and I'm still loading back, and my stuff wasn't very nice to me. But the one thing I will say, first stage ended up being, I saw 29 laps earlier. It should have been. Ironically enough, actually, same stage or same length as the truck first stage was last night. But these guys do have to save some fuel. They get a little bit more than the truck did, about 23 laps on the tank. So they had to save about 6 laps. Keep in mind they ran 2 pace laps to start off. We have 27 laps in stage 1 under the green flag. Those 2 pace laps should have helped these guys save some fuel. I'm predicting they'll probably have to save about 4 to 5 laps to make it. We'll see if the drivers decide to do that, though, or not.
Yeah, I'm on board here with Holy Nugget. He's sitting in what looks to be the 6th place spot, and he's got one of the Toyotas up in front of him. It looks like that's Doc Hudson already, who's up there in 5th, so really strong run. Oh, that's not Doc. Okay, well, we got a custom car up here. I can't really read the number of it, but Holy Nugget kind of falling off from 2nd. He's getting passed by a lot of cars right now, and the 13, the latest to pass him, that's Air Just Cuz, now sliding into 6th. So Holy Nugget kind of fell off from his front row spot, and looks like maybe a lot of guys have a faster saver gear, and that could play 2 different ways. I mean, you have a faster save gear, you're not going to save as much, but maybe you get enough of a gap on that person that you're trying to beat, and it'll play out in your favor. Maybe you don't save enough with a faster fuel gear, so it's kind of playing with fire. But right now, Holy Nugget looks to be sitting in, I believe, 8th place right now. So he's really falling off, and he keeps on he's getting passed on the low side now too. So maybe something wrong with that race car, but we'll get back to him and check out with him here in a little bit.
Internet's acting up.
So I believe K. Harvick fan messing up. We're going to ride on board here with Zachary now, who is sitting around 8th or 9th right now himself. So really, he's been in the mix. He's right up there with these leaders. He put down a really fast time this week. I believe he qualified inside the top 10. So definitely has a fast race car that he right now can wheel around, and he's doing what he needs to do to remain where he is. But in that time, we got a new leader. It's Legend Johnson, who took the lead just a lap ago, and he's got the 93 right behind him as well. So Legend Johnson and Emright. Emright's a guy we saw last night who was really fast, but I don't think we really saw Legend Johnson too much in the Truck Series. I don't even think he was there. But we know, at least I know, his Iowa's really good for him. He's really good at this track, and he's showing it right now. Either he's not fuel saving or he's just that fast, as he's put on a good lead from the 90, from him to the 93. As I believe Kevin's making his way back. I'm going to hand it over to him for a minute as Legend Johnson continues to lead at Iowa.
And I'll tell you what about Legend. You know, I'm not really surprised by this. For whatever reason, this track has seemed to really suit him in the races that I've watched him do here. For whatever reason, this track is stronger suits. You know, whatever reason that may be, I don't know. The one thing I do know is he's not usually one to go out and save, so that's probably going to hurt him if we get to the end of this.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's banking on a caution, or I know he doesn't like fuel saving personally. He says that every time that he goes into a race, I will not fuel save if it needs to be done. So right now, he might just be getting what he wants, and that's the TV time, and he is getting put on to the getting put onto the television right now as we watch Legend Johnson continue to push his lead. And you know, this could go both ways. If he is able to gain a substantial enough lead, he actually could get away with not having to save, while the rest of those guys are really pushing to make it in no stops, or maybe even just one stop. Maybe Legend Johnson has to take one extra pit stop than them, and if he's fast enough, he will be able to carry on with this strategy. But we'll see here as he looks to have almost a straightaway lead on that 93 of Emright, who's right behind him. Could be saving as well, so we'll catch back up with Legend Johnson, but we're going to take a look here. The earlier car that I did notice, it's not the 38. That's Graham Cracker in the 40. I don't know what was going on with me earlier, but the 40 car, that's Graham Cracker right there, and that vibrant off-axis paint, off-axis spray paint there, race car, and he looks to be having a good race right now as he continues to race here. As we're hearing a few guys might be done with their fuel saving. It looks like Drew LMAO may be lagged out. Unfortunate for him there. We're going to see if we can slide to Doc Hudson. He's in the 48. It looks like they said from our in-race reporter that he is done fuel saving. We'll take a look with him and see if he's really pushing it or not, as it looks like he might be just a little bit. He's not really backing up his corners like you typically would when you're fuel saving, and he's still keeping it in the throttle a little bit. And look at all the time he's gained on these cars ahead of him that still are saving. Man, I think our in-race reporter is right. Doc Hudson might be finished collecting all that extra fuel that he needs to continue on and get this done in one stage. We got a car loose up in front of him. That's the 22 there. Gets a little bit squirrely. Maybe even the 0 up there got a little bit squirrely. The 0, maybe not. Maybe that's not the 0. See if we can get to that loose race car up there. As we got Madara in it, he's taking it down pit road. 80 Arco, let's take a look at 80 Arco. He is running fairly decent right now, and this is, I believe, his second or third Xfinity start in that 38 Chevy Camaro there. So he's looking to have a great race right now as he is trying to attack on that 47 car of Crotum, who is known as one of the faster guys in the preset side. I don't know about his experience with the custom setup racing, but I do know from my experiences with racing with him in other leagues, the 47 of its Crotum is a very, very fast driver, and especially on them presets, he can really get it going. As look at Doc Hudson right there. He's just slicing and dicing through the field right now. Trying to get on board with Doc Hudson right here. Look at him making moves, getting around those guys, and he's just doing one heck of a job right now in his first Xfinity start, and we're glad to have him back. He requested to be referred to as John because, you know, he has a long history with Madden games. He rages at them just like the rest of us, so he requested to be called John, but that is our good buddy Doc Hudson right there in that 48 Ally Chevrolet Camaro. And we're going to try to filter back to the leader. I don't know who it is right now, but the 93 seems to be the leader. That is Emright. So we'll get on board here. Emright is your leader right now, doing what he needs to do to remain up front. He's doing one heck of a job, I'd say. As our other broadcaster, K. Harvick fan, continues to have internet issues right now. He's trying to get him back in. I'm going to try to keep this action hot for you right now. Maybe even some would say red hot. Tonight in the Red Hot Racing League at Iowa. That 93 continues to lead. He's really stretching his fuel as far as it can go. And he's doing one heck of a job at it. Emright, one of your stronger competitors in that truck series. I know we've watched him here throughout these first 3 weeks. He's put on show, and he's done really good. And it looks like now he will be coming down pit road and surrendering the lead. We'll get a word on who that is here in a second, as it might be Zachary in the 0. It is, in fact, Zachary in the 0, your new leader now. He's stretching it even farther than Emright. But I expect maybe the 0. Will take it down pit road. But if you look there at the top of your screen, you see the 60. That's Asylum's. He's been able to save, I'm pretty sure, this whole fuel run before in other Iowa races we've seen him at. So look for him to possibly be able to save this whole stage. And if Zachary can do it, what a heck of a strategy for this 0 car right now, as Zachary continues to be out in charge and up front. And it looks like he's not losing too much time to the 60 either. He might be even gaining on that 60 of Asylums. So Zachary doing what it takes right now to hang on to this lead. And he is continuing to lead. Can we get a lap count? Coming to the white flag right now. He's on the white. So Zachary, we'll see if he can do it here in this zero contact Chevrolet. Can he do it? He comes through 3 and 4. Zachary might be a stage winner here tonight, as it looks like he's not going to run out. Zachary is going to come home. Zachary's going to win the stage. What a strategy pull by that 0 car right there. That was an amazing strategy that he managed to do there. And I believe the 60 finished second, the 98 in third. I believe the 92 of Legend Johnson. 92 of Legend Johnson in fourth there. Trying to see who is in fifth. But yeah, what a strategy by that 0. I'm pretty impressed with Zachary's performance so far. He has done an amazing job. We're getting word that Boog finishes 5th in this stage, so that top 5 putting in work for this first stage. And Zachary comes home with that green and white checkered flag first. So congratulations to Zachary on his stage win. Those are going to be 10 crucial points for his playoff run. So Kevin, if you're back with us now, we can hear you in the party. Are you back with us? Have you made it back? We're going to send you an invite, Kevin. We'll get you back here in a second. Zachary's going to be on the lead here. Let's see if we can scroll to him as quick as we can. Zachary's going to lead us there, but look who's starting on the outside again. That's the 98 of Holy Nugget. He didn't have a strong running in that first stage when he started up there. Kind of fell off. Zachary, your stage 1 winner. Nugget did manage, though, to rebound it. Wow, Nugget just really shot up there in the first. Wow, what a move by Nugget right there. I don't know if this is a fuel-saving strategy, but Holy Nugget putting on a show with that outside pass. And it looks like they're going to go 3 wide for second. Doc Hudson on the outside. Toasted Gamers on the inside. Zachary in the middle. Doc Hudson's going to get a run on the outside here. Can he use it to pass Nugget? He is going to use it to pass Nugget. Doc Hudson with a move there to get past. Trying to get on board with him here as he is pulling away a little bit. Doc Hudson back behind the wheel and custom setup racing here with us in that 48 Ally Chevrolet. Look at that. Doc Hudson pulling away. I don't know if it's a fuel-saving strategy stage this time around, which I'm thinking it is. It's Iowa. I mean, it has to be, right? And it looks like Doc Hudson pulling out to a lead right now. Let's see if he has what it takes to maybe pull what Zachary did. And if I'm Zachary, I'd be doing exactly what I did in stage 1. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. What do you say, Kevin? Yeah, that's true. I think he has put it in gear now, though, because Zachary and the rest of the pack is starting to catch up, and Zachary now making a move for that race lead. Here he goes to the bottom. We're going to flick through to Zachary as he is now your leader. Yeah, and if we look on his inside right now, he's under attack from the 18, who smacks the wall a little bit. Zachary maybe gets a little loose as himself there as he tries to dodge, but that 18 might have had an issue there, but that's Madar in it. We know him as Yeti. He's now out to the lead. Yeti, another guy. If he's not going 25%, you know he's going to do good. So here he comes, Yeti, running out front right now in that race lead. We're going to swing over to his camera now. We're going to ride on board with Yeti. Kevin, take it. Oh yeah, I mean, Yeti, when he tagged the wall, I noticed Zachary thought he was going to get stuck there. Maybe something would have happened to Yeti, but Zachary kind of jerked the car a little bit, and it looks like everybody's back to saving. Maybe Yeti isn't, but I know the rest of this field probably still putting it in gear as we see Doc Hudson in third still. And Yeti right now, though, is in command. We haven't really seen Zachary fall off too much either. He's been riding around up front. Let's take a look maybe towards the middle of the pack. See if we can get on maybe a good battle, as I'm going to ride alongside. Yes, Drew LMAO did lag out earlier. Unfortunately, he lagged out on the pace laps, which just is terrible. There's another DNF. I don't think so. Oh, it's Fabico Gamer. We know that he has internet issues as well, so unfortunately, Fabico Gamer also lags out. Let's ride on board with our pole sitter, though, Kevin. Casey kind of hasn't been up towards like the lead like we expected, but he has been running up top 5 the whole race. So Casey just keeping himself within striking distance right now and doing what he needs to do as he rides right behind that 48, and the 38 of AD Arca is going to slide up in front of him maybe, and it looks like, yeah, I mean, the 38 slides up there in front of him, and Casey right now, he's around a lot of cars, and he's having a good race. Compared to last night, where he kind of just got caught up in everything you could imagine. Every wreck last night that happened, I think the 60 did, or the 6 it was for Casey last night. He got caught up in it, and unfortunately it ruined his race, and probably wasn't as good as a points day as he would like, but tonight he's definitely getting what he wants out of this race car, and he's getting up there in the front, and he's able to keep himself within striking distance, like I said before, Kevin, but Casey Masser right now doing one heck of a job to show him how it's done. Now he's running towards the bottom. He kind of missed a corner there, but I'm going to move over to, I believe it is Gamer is blazing tonight in that 44. He's kind of running pretty good for his first Iowa start here at RHRL. He's actually in third right now, so he's known for the preset racing. In my league, I know he runs in a few other preset leagues. He's really, really fast in them presets. Never an underdog there, but you know, I never knew the type of talent he would have custom setup racing, and it looks like he's doing one heck of a job tonight, as I've noticed he's been up front a lot here at this race. Didn't really get the good stage finish that he wanted, and maybe he's not doing the fuel strategy like everyone else is, but look at him right now. He's almost doing a challenge for second with Zachary, so Gamer's blazing right now, moving along. Yeah, and as we were flipping through our guys in the middle of the field, 80 Arco is in the lead right now on that 38 machine, and he's got a fairly decent gap to the 93 right behind him, who is Emright. So Emright's really had some good races here recently, and same thing with 80 Arco. I don't think 80 Arco gets enough credit for his racing, but this guy right here, I don't know his experience on custom setups yet, but he's really doing a heck of a job here tonight to remain in the lead with 4 laps remaining in this race. And maybe he'll be able to get the stage win. Maybe he can hold out. So, yes, good. Thank you for correcting me there on the stage there. But those those 10 points are extremely valuable. So he's really looking forward to hopefully get a hold of those points. And right now, Emright hot on his tail. Kind of like a policeman chasing a robber. Yes, indeed, they do have some traffic. I don't know if they'll catch it, but yeah, there's a big cluster of cars heading into turn 1. So maybe we'll see Emright catch them, but 3 laps, I believe, left in this stage, maybe 2 right now, as Emright, or 80 Arco, correction, is still leading this field. Oh. 80 Arco will be your stage winner. And it looks like we don't know who the leader is. Zachary's going to sweep the stages. My bad for that. I kind of misled our viewers there. Yeah, I mean, I kind of fumbling for who the leader is. Sadly, we don't get the ticker. I remember NASCAR Heat was when we first started, they gave us the ticker and took it away, and unfortunately that's gonna that's gonna kind of ruin the stage finish for us on the broadcast, because we thought it was 80 Arco the whole time. But Zachary's gonna sweep your stages here. Obviously strong performance from him to be able to do that. So 2 stages under his belt, and that's 20 points already for Zachary. So Mark Falks, or Boog, his 100 gamer, the man with 100 gamer tags, he'll finish second. Yeah, he'll finish second. I wonder who Toasted third, Casey fourth, and T-Glass will finish 5th there in that stage. So top 5 kind of sounded familiar, but a few different faces up there. We didn't see Toasted in the top 5, so, or T-Glass for that matter. So those two guys really bouncing back and getting some highly coveted stage points for their races, as I believe now. Fuel strategy, I hope, is not a factor now, but I'm sure it will be, knowing how Iowa plays out. As the 54 of Mark, or Haha Boog, looks to challenge for that lead. He's got it right now, but can Zachary do anything about it on the bottom? Because he looks like a little bit of bubble between the 60 and the 0. And the 0 is going to get split on the high side and the below side now. And he, just like that, drops like a rock from 1st to 6th. Look at that. And look who's on the high side. Ooh! It looks like the Hades might have had something happen there, but that's a big wreck behind him. That's probably going to bring out the yellow. I think it does. Looks like about 6 cars were involved. Is it maybe the 6 car got in some trouble with Holy Nugget in the 98? Might have been a racing incident. We didn't get the whole view on it, Kevin, but yeah, we'll get back to you right here, Kevin. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, number crunching, definitely something you need for a team, especially, I mean, the guy on the pit box needs to know what he's talking about, and he needs to know how far your car can go, as well as the fuel. So 57 laps remaining right now. The 60 of Asylums was back up into the lead, but just like that, the 48 of Doc Hudson manages to maybe get the lead this lap. He will lead the lap, but I don't know if he'll clear him. Pretty close. 60 takes it really high. The 0's getting messed up back there. Wow, that's a lot of cars involved. That's going to be a caution. About 10 cars involved there. Yeah, fuel mileage definitely is going to play a factor here tonight now that we've gotten those 2 cautions. That only makes it more desirable to kick it into fuel gear with 52 laps remaining. Doc Hudson out in front. Get on the board with him here in a second. But Doc Hudson, man, glad to have him back here in custom setup racing. It's been a while since we've seen him, but I know everyone's glad to have him back. Just an amazing personality. If you get to know him, he's a great guy and really fun to race with for sure. I mean, I got to spend some time on the same Cup team and Xfinity team as him at one point in my custom setup racing career, and it was a blast to be with him. 38's going to be around there. Big Rex in the middle. Big Rex in the middle there. Yeah, that was a very bad wreck there. It happened, there was 2 different wrecks going on at the same time. The 38 wrecked on the back, towards the back of the field into a few other cars, and then I saw the 54 spin around. There was two different wrecks going on there at the same time, so that definitely is going to cause a lot of carnage. So we'll see what happens there.
Okay, I think it
So we're
glitched
going.
out. If you guys, real quick, if you guys out there in chat can hear me, let me know. I had internet issues, and sometimes apparently, even though I had the box checked, apparently it doesn't include audio. Hopefully it's fixed now. We will see. That's annoying.
Well, we got word Burton saying we might have to reset the party. We can try to do that really quickly if we get the opportunity. I don't want to get away from the action here, so I'll take it. As right now the 18 of Yeti, we saw him up in the front here early. He's going to challenge for that lead, the 60 right there on his high side. They're side by side right now, and the 92 of Legend Johnson now making his moves as well to the bottom. The 18 is going to close it off. The 60 looks for the crossover. Here he goes. Here comes Asylums to the front of the race. 4 wide deep in the pack. The 60 on the bottom right now. The 48 on the bottom as well. Right behind him. Let's see what's going to go on second. The 48 and 18 battling hard. Look at Doc Hudson painting that yellow line right there. Asylums continues to lead. Here they go into turn one. Heavy battling right now. Even though we think it's a fuel stage, or a fuel saving race right at this point. I mean, a lot of these guys are going tooth and nail for every spot. As Doc Hudson looks to poke his nose down in there below 60, but the 60 is going to close the door on him.
Really good racing out front.
Hardcore battling going on. Hardcore battling going on, Kevin.
Indeed. No, yeah, you look at these guys. Here goes Doc now. He finally does get the nose under there. Battle for the lead, Gavin, as they head off down the straightaway. It looks like Doc's going to have the advantage here. We'll see how well Asylums can hold onto this middle. This is probably going to be the biggest test of the middle we've seen so far, and he's doing a really good job holding on.
Yeah, he's doing a great job right now managing to run both of these cars. I mean, another crossover from the 60. Now the 60 is going to try the bottom. The 48 is going to see what that high side is looking like. And Asylums right there is just going to get under, but the 48 gets one amazing run off the high side. And he's able to clear him. So the 48's definitely got a heater of a car right now.
I'll tell you what, too, the way this race is falling now with the cautions, I actually do believe, I don't remember exactly how many laps we had to go. I'm thinking it was probably about 47-ish to go. So, actually we're hearing, might have been 45, 44 to go, Gavin. So, if that's the case, this really helps Doc in the sense, it seems he's not really as interested in saving fuel. I think he has some sort of fuel gear in it, but he's definitely somebody I know that's more willing to race, and I think a lot of these guys are. That's why you see Sounds now. He's back up here showing the speed that he has in that car. The first two stages a little bit more focused on saving fuel, but now you see this, and if we restarted with about 46, 45 to go, there's not going to be any fuel mileage unless we have another caution, because these guys can make it on fuel on one more stop.
Yeah, and Casey, otherwise known as Asylums, definitely has got his work cut out for him just as much as the 48 of Doc Hudson does. Legend Johnson looking to insert himself into the picture, and there's also the one car right behind both of them. So a lot of guys right here looking for the win. And with the first two guys here of Asylums and Doc Hudson battling it out right now for this lead, that's just giving everyone else a chance to get back into it and insert themselves to the picture. As we see Legend Johnson in third right now, he's looking forward to getting into this battle, as we know Dirt is as well, who also from from past experiences, I should say, I know he's really fast here as well, just as the other three ahead of him. So never count out that number one there of Smoothini, Dirt, Oreo, whatever you know him as.
He's kind of like
he's really fast.
He has a million different names because he changes it all the time. Around now, trying to see, they've calmed down a little bit, but if you notice, you look at your top 4 and 5, Gavin, they've kind of pulled away a little bit. Obviously, top 3 or 4 are still pretty close together, but there's some gaps up here in this pack, so I think the way this race is going right now, I think you're really starting to see which of these guys do indeed actually have the speed advantages in this field. And right now, I mean, the guys that are gapping from are probably about 6th, 7th on back that are losing ground are definitely the ones that have a little bit of catching up to do. Is they're racing up front once again.
Yeah, I'm riding right on the hood view of Doc Hudson right now, who's gotten trapped on the high side. We're going to see if he can make it work, as it looks like Asylums is just slowly starting to clear him, but didn't get a good run off the corner as good as Doc Hudson did. And Legend Johnson and Smoothini, or Oreo Dirt, is trying to follow the 60 right now. As the 60 now makes it to the point, he is now the leader. Asylum's in front. And it looks like Legend Johnson's going to try to challenge for second here. And he's got it right now. Oh, a little bit of contact between the 48 and the 92 there.
See how that goes over.
We'll see how that goes over. I know Doc Hudson hates it when
Oh, look up front of these guys.
Run up into him.
Car up here. Oh, never mind. Oh, no.
And here we go. The battle for the lead continues on. The 60 in the lead. The 48 now looking to challenge. Let's see who can come out on top here between these two. Or will something else play a factor? Perhaps pit stops, pit strategy, when you go down, what you take. I mean, we'll see. There's so many factors that can play in, as there is so much more racing left to cover, Kevin.
Indeed, and by the way, we're in a run now. Again, these guys, everybody in the field still has to make one more pit stop. You get about 23 laps on field. We heard we went green with either 44 or 45 laps to go. Meaning that when these guys do pit road is going to be a very busy place because it's a very small window you can pit in. You can pit when 23 laps to go opens up, and you can make it to maybe 21 to go. And that's pushing it. I would say main 2 laps for pit stops is going to be 23 and 22 laps to go in this thing. So pit road, when it does open up, when that window opens, it's going to be a very busy place. And if these guys are so close together, it'll be interesting to see how they interact getting onto pit road, and that could be where your race is won or lost.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, pit road, I mean, a lot of people don't understand the preciseness and the importance of pit road as much as these guys do, and as much as anyone who's really a fanatic of racing in general. Everyone needs to be aware of how important pit stops are. I mean, just a couple tenths can be do or die for your race win, because you notice how close these guys are. I would say the gap from first to second might just be 0.2 of a second, maybe even just 1. So say for instance the 60 comes down pit road, he gets maybe a 15.4 pit stop, but Doc Hudson manages to get a 15.6. That's just a bigger gap there that the 48 would have to close. So that just shows you right there how important these pit crews are when it comes to racing, and also what are you going to take when you come down. So that's a lot of different things there to think about when you're coming down pit road. It's not just every time I come down I'm taking 4. There's sometimes where you don't need to take as much as you think you do, and that just shows you the preciseness and the importance of pit road. As now we got a battle going on for second, the 48 and the 1, as the pit window now should be open. Look for some guys to come down here, as it looks like the 48 and the 92 might have got together in getting down for pit road.
Here we go. Very busy pit road.
2 guys already coming down. Our leader Asylums remains out and isn't coming down yet. We'll see if he does this time now that he notices a few guys behind him have. He's not coming down, but I believe the 1 car of Oreo is going to. Our number 60 Ford Mustang right now remains out there in front. It looks like a lot of guys have already gone down. He hasn't yet. So we'll see what does Casey have up his sleeve, because typically when he stays out and everyone else is pitting, he has something planned. We'll see what his thoughts are right now, as it looks like maybe coming down this time. Yes, he is.
Definitely.
The 60 will come down now.
One question I have. Oh, yeah. Oh, maybe it didn't. I don't know. Might have been. It was close. So it almost looked like he tagged the inside wall there on my screen, but I had a really bad camera shot.
The Zero Rex entering pit road.
Oh boy.
The 98's going to be affected. The 93.
That could be a caution. And if that's a caution, Asylums is going to look like a genius. And we are going to have to figure that out. Unfortunately, we have another DNF, and it's a very important one for us. Our lap counter, Honorary Hades, has unfortunately fallen subject to the amazing phenomenon that is the lag out. Unfortunately,
and that's not the.
Actually, Hades, hang on.
That's
if I
not...
invite you back to the lobby, can you watch the lap count? I know that's boring.
And that's not the only DNF that we had. The 47 also earlier in the race DNFs. So we'll see how that plays out. It's the 93, the 93 and the 98 there. They were affected by those pit stops, but it doesn't look like it was too bad, as they are pretty close to Smoothini right now. So we're going to try to get back to what presumably should be our race leader in Asylums. See where he is sitting right now.
And by the way, we're
got
trying
a good view on Asylums.
Working on getting our lap count back up. That didn't bring out a caution. That did affect a few guys. So that's unfortunate. The Zero, who had a really good first two stages, swept them both. It was really impressing me. He started off stage 3 kind of rough, fell back from the lead pretty quick, and then got kind of roughed up. And then from there on, we had he had some other issues, and of course the biggest now being that pit incident. Thankfully it stayed green, but you see now after pit stops, Gavin, and I think this is why those guys were racing so hard beforehand, very spread out field now, especially up front.
Yeah, I mean, Asylum's really just putting on a show. I don't know if... it's kind of hard to tell because Legend Johnson was up here in the front as well. I don't know if that's a pass for the lead right now, the 92 and the 60, but it presumably should be. But I do notice just ahead of them, it looks like that's the 48 up there too. So any one of these guys, could be up front. We'll slide over to the 48 real quick, and yeah, I mean the 48 right now presumably looks like our leader. But that also could be untrue. He could have had a pit road issue, but right now it does look like Doc Hudson is in the lead. That's what I'm going to go with. I'm not 100% certain. It's definitely one of these three up here. But right now we're going to go on as if Doc Hudson's in the lead. So, yeah, but Doc Hudson continuing to put on a show. I mean...
Yeah, and that's definitely believable too, because the one thing I didn't get a chance to point out when they pitted, remember, Doc and those other guys came in before Asylums. Well, Iowa does eat tires up pretty good, and I promise you, those tires were screaming for freedom off that car when these guys came into the pits. Asylum stayed out longer. The short pit does still work here. Maybe not as effective a play as somewhere like in Atlanta, but keep in mind how close those guys were racing to one another. It would make a lot of sense if Doc, leapfrogged Asylums and all that. And was able to get by him through the pits. And we talk about too, we don't know obviously what their pit times were, but that could have played into it as well. It's something the drivers have no control over. Lots of things could have happened. It's definitely very believable if Doc Hudson in that 48 car is out front right now and your leader.
Yeah, I mean, Doc Hudson has shown his speed tonight, and just like I would say from any other experience that I've had with Doc Hudson, he is pretty fast at a track like this. So he knows his way around Iowa, and I wouldn't be surprised if he was the one up front, and I think he is. So he's going to come up on some lap cars. As Oreo's just doing donuts in the infield there. The race ain't over.
Don't know what happened to him. He's also doesn't. If he's doing that, he's not going to win the race. So don't know why he's doing donuts down there. We'll leave him to it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Oreo definitely a character. Someone I would definitely recommend being friends with. This guy, he's funny, and he's a really cool guy. I'm glad that I can call him one of my good buddies over here on the Xbox side, and he's a really good guy to race with. So, Hades giving us a lap count right now, says that there's 12 laps or something around that to go. Doc Hudson going to make it 11 here as he crosses the stripe.
80 is
Continuing to
when
lead.
we say it, let me know if that updates. I'm curious how quick it updates. Okay. Oh, it updates quick then. Okay, yeah, so, by the way, so we do actually have a lap ticker. We can't see it, but Hades, again, he got affected by the lag. He's taking a very boring but very helpful role for us. And he's actually back in the main lobby screen watching the lap count as that ticks down. So we do still have a lap count for you. Can't see who's leading officially. We assume it's Doc. Definitely makes sense. And right now, assuming he doesn't make a mistake or anything, he looks like he's probably got this thing pretty well won. About 10 laps to go now. When we come back to it here, I don't see how he loses this race unless he gets caught up in traffic or caution comes out or he makes a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, he's really running that high side like no other right now, and I know NASCAR Heat doesn't have it, but it kind of seems like that outside is just rubbered in, and it looks like the spot to go right now, as the 60 right behind him in second also going with it. I'd say there's about a second between those two, and Doc Hudson just needs to keep his eyes in front of him right here to continue to tick these laps down and maybe come home with that trophy and that checkered flag that he wants so bad. We'll see if he can get it here tonight.
I see a group of cars behind the 60. I don't know if those are lap cars or what, or if they're actually for position, but there's a little group of cars back there.
I believe third place right now is the 92 of Legend Johnson, who also really good at this track. I've noticed in a lot of different leagues that he's ran presets and custom. He is a pretty fast driver here, as we're hearing 8 laps left, coming to 7 for Doc Hudson right now, as we are right on top of the action here, riding along with our second place Asylums right now. We got 7 laps remaining. Doc Hudson still in the driver's seat, but it looks like that 60 is really making up the time right now. I see the gap closing, Kevin.
Indeed, I did notice towards the end of that run before the pit stops, the 60 of Asylums definitely looked like he was stronger on the long run, whereas Doc seemed like he had more of a short and a mid-run car, but he did fall off quite a bit on the long run. So this thing far from over. Asylums definitely has time, and there's some lap cars up here as well. Not a ton of them, but that could factor into. So we'll see. This outside line does eat the tires up, so we've seen both of them up there. Definitely could be a factor. Keep an eye on this. It's not over yet, I don't believe, because Doc definitely seemed to fall off quite a bit on the long runs, and this will definitely hit long run status.
Yeah, and it looks like the 60 kind of playing into the head of the 48, as now they're side by side in the middle of the corner. The 48 might not have what it takes, but I noticed that the 48 was running a defensive line there just a lap ago, and now it looks like the 60 is taking over. Asylum's back up to the front here. Doc Hudson shifts right back to second. Don't know if the 48 has anything for our leader right now, as it looks like Asylum's kind of just blew the doors off of that 48. 5 laps left in this contest here tonight. And it looks like we got a really big battle going on for third. I'm going to see if I can get on that for a few laps here. Right on board with Legend Johnson. It looks like him and the 9, maybe the 38. I don't know if the 38's on the lead lap. But the 92 and the 9 are going at it right now for what looks to be third. And maybe Legend Johnson might even be able to take away second from Doc. It looks like Doc, like you said earlier, just falling off a cliff right now. I don't know if his tires may have what it takes to bring home that race car, but right now, as you can see and our viewers can see, Kevin, the 92 has now closed the gap to the 48. He's there.
Indeed, and I think he'll get that spot. To put in comparison, Doc was leading earlier in that run and before the pit stops happened, and he ended up pitting in 4th. So that's how far back he fell. By the way, we're about to wrap this thing up. Sal's working his way through lap car there, no issue, and we're about to wrap this thing up.
Absolutely, and I just noticed right there the 92 did pass Doc, and it looks like, I don't know if the 38's on the lead lap. That might be another battle there, but Casey coming around here. I believe we only have a few laps left. He's still in front. Nothing behind him that can challenge right now. The white flag in the air for that 60. He's got nobody to challenge him right now. As
Lap
everyone's just
car
coming out of turn 2.
up
Here
in
he comes.
front.
Lap car probably not going to play a factor. Air Just Cuz is a really good, respectable driver. He's just going to continue to push through, and it looks like the 60 is going to get his first win here in the Xfinity Series. So congratulations to the 60 there. Asylums just manages to play his cards right and get that win right there where it matters most towards the end of this race. So I'd say that was a great race for him, and a great race for all the other guys we saw, especially up front early. I mean, we saw Zachary up front. He did one heck of a job and then managed to just have some unfortunate things happen for him there. And but yeah, the 60 car comes home in first here tonight. We'll get our top 3 in here shortly, and that was fun calling that one, Kevin. That was a really good job. That was a really good
Definitely,
job from the 60 to win.
definitely was, and I'm sure he'll be ecstatic about that considering how his truck race went last night. But gotta say, man, we had the comers and goers, and by the way, too, the trend continues. Third different Xfinity Series winner in 3 races. So I'm gonna get Asylum in here, and then we'll get the other 2 of our top 3. I'm thinking Legend Johnson, and I don't know actually if third is Doc or not, or if he ended up falling to fourth. We will see.
Yeah, I mean, Toasted was really close to him there, and really that was anybody's race towards the end for second and third. So we'll see who came out with it once we can get our race winner in here. Maybe he can fill us in on who finished where.
I do
We'll
want to
see what we
thank
got going
Hades,
on.
by the way, too, for about the last 20 laps or so. They're taking the very boring job that is watching that lap counter in the lobby. That was very helpful. Unfortunate that he got disconnected, but thank you again, Hades, for sticking around and doing that for us. We are still trying to get these guys in here. Oh, wait. Legend, what happened to Legend? Oh, never mind. We were off. Thinking, oh,
Well then.
that's unfortunate. So,
Unfortunate. Don't know what did you say Legend Johnson lost a tire? Oh man. You know he's
that
got to be
stings.
fired up about that one. That has got to hurt. And it looks like Toasted and Doc are going to slip away top 3 here with
I will go
Asylums being your
retrieve
winner.
Doc now. For those of you that can't hear, I won't specify what it's about, but there's the Charlie Brown teacher being played in the background of the party right now. We won't say in response to what, but yeah, that's why you hear our laughing. And I have to. You're gonna make me laugh.
Thanks everyone for tuning in so far. 10 viewers right now. We're going to get the thoughts of our top 3 for you guys.
Echo.
So we will see what we got going on here in a second in the minds of our top 3.
Indeed. Now, Gavin, I know we made an agreement before the race. Originally, I was supposed to get third and first, but and then you would take second. But since Doc got third, would you like to take this one?
I absolutely would. I think we got some good questions for good old buddy Doc Hudson.
Or John. Also, somebody.
Alrighty, John. John, you got a copy up there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, John Madden didn't get out there to bite you this time. How would you say your race went? We saw that you were up front for the pretty much whole race. One heck of a show from you. I don't know if you've been doing custom setups while we've been away from you, but I know I can speak for all of us. We're glad to have you here with us tonight, and glad to see that you managed to pull a top 3 out tonight, especially with the speed you showed. Just run us through how your race went.
The first two stages were fuel strategy, and I thank John for saving the right rear for me, and I just appreciate you guys inviting me to come back here. And it was a lot of fun racing with Casey and Toasted and all them there.
Yeah, I mean, we're glad to have you. We're glad that John was able to keep you out of trouble. We know from the past John hasn't been too good to you. Kevin, you got anything for good old buddy Doc Hudson?
Oh yeah, I definitely do. First of all, I just want to point out, by the way, and it's kind of funny, the echo I'm hearing makes me feel like I'm at Richmond again from last weekend. Because if you've been to a race, you know when they talk through the grandstands, it just echoes because it's delayed from one side of the track to the other. That's what it sounds like right now. But anyway, no. First of all, John, Doc, Obviously, we saw you had really good first two stages. I had a ton of speed in that car, but towards the end of the runs there, you kind of slipped back. We saw it especially, in the first run there in stage 3. We saw you slip back to about third or fourth, and then you had the lead after the pit stop. You had the lead up until probably 4 or 5 laps to go, and then Asylums got around you. What do you feel like you needed out of your car to be able to hold on to the lead there and take home the win?
I needed a better gear. The reason I would fade back there is because I'd have to save fuel because I was burning so much fuel than everyone else. But I figure out gearing with these custom setups. I'm probably win a few races here, but it's a work in progress, as you see.
Indeed, and my other question too, did you race last weekend? I wasn't here, unfortunately. I believe this is your debut, correct?
Yeah, this is my first race this season.
That's what I thought. So considering you come up with a third place finish in your debut, how do you take that one?
I can't be disappointed because there's a lot of good competition in here, and I was afraid that I was going to lose a lot of speed because I kind of got away from the custom setups for a month and a half here. There's a bunch of stuff going on in my personal life, but nice to see I could pick up some where I left off.
Indeed, and I know we talked about it on the broadcast. I know we're all glad to have you back. It's nice to see you racing again. Hopefully we can keep you running and maybe get you full time. I don't know, we'll see. But any shout outs, thank yous, that sort of thing for you for a third place result on the podium tonight?
Just shout out to all the admins that put this series together. Very good racing and good, clean, fun, non-toxic environment. That's what I'll leave it at.
All right.
Well, Doc, we're extremely glad to have you. I know I was pretty happy to see you in the field tonight and get to cover a race that you were a part of, and I was glad to see you out there on the track doing what you do best, and that's whooping tail and finishing, pretty good for your first start. I'm glad to see you back. Congrats on the third place. Kevin, I guess you'll take our second place finisher, which is the only truck car guy we know, Toasted Gamer.
For Jen!
Well, on that note, I'm sorry, hang on, I have to regather myself after that one.
We can restart.
All right. So, Toasted, you started pretty well, but you had a fairly quiet race overall. I know these short tracks pretty good for you, but you were fairly quiet the first couple of stages and even early stage 3 in this thing, and then you kind of snuck your way up into the top 3 there late in the race. Got up to the second position. Obviously, Legend had his issues. I assume you had just gotten around Doc there. Probably a couple hours before that. I actually pretty sure we caught that battle. So moving your way up into second, obviously with Legend having his problems. First of all, how was your car throughout the race?
Well, I'll tell you what, my Xfinity truck was very, it drove very well. The Xfinity truck just had very great handling, and I was shocked by the handling of this Xfinity truck, honestly. It it really shocked me. But starting P19, I think we got top five all three stages actually. I could be wrong on that. I might have been outside of the top five on one of them, but we had just a really good race overall. Um, P4 and P3 in the stages and P2 in the race. That was honestly really good, and I was shocked by how well I was able to roll the bottom and just maneuver around the track and traffic and all that stuff.
And I'll say too, obviously we saw you kind of take over second place late there, but do you think, depending on obviously I don't know how your pit cycle and that sort of thing unfolded for you. It goes differently for everyone, but do you feel like you would have had anything for Casey there? Or do you think there was any scenario that could have played out where you would have had anything for the win?
Well, I do think there's a time where I could have been a little bit closer because entering the pits, Dirt or Oreo or Smoothini, whatever his name is at the time, at the time, happened to spin out or lose a tire right in front of me entering the pit. So I had to quickly mash on the brakes, and that kind of allowed a few guys to catch up and get in front of me. So if that didn't happen, maybe I could have had a little bit more space and maybe been able to catch him. I think he was just too fast for me. But really, I'm just happy with the P2. That's a great follow-up with a P4 at Daytona and not a very good Chicagoland race. So yeah.
Indeed, and before I ask my final usual question of you, I do have to ask. These short tracks seem to be your strong suit. Obviously, second place here tonight. But tomorrow, the Xfinity Cup cars, as you would call them, are headed to Richmond, and tomorrow night. Obviously, again, the short tracks being your strong suit. How do you feel like you're set up to do there?
Well, I love Richmond. That's one of my favorite tracks on this game, honestly. I don't know what about it, but something just really clicks with me there, and I'm able to roll the bottom really well and get a great entry. So I hope things we're gonna have to have a little bit of luck because I think we're starting around 14th, so that's gonna be a bit of an uphill climb getting through the field. But hopefully by stage 3 at least we can be up in the top 5, top 10, or maybe even contesting for the win in our Xfinity Cup car. So yeah, hopefully we can have a good race there too.
Indeed, and before I send to Gavin before I shut up and send it to Gavin, see if he has any questions for you, because I know I ramble. Sorry, everyone. Any shout outs or thank yous for you tonight on a second place finish?
Well, thank you to you guys for broadcasting, of course. Y'all do awesome every week, and I really appreciate y'all stepping up and doing this. The products are really good. Thanks to all the admins, of course, for putting this all together. Working very hard throughout the week and stuff, and not getting to do many other things because they're always busy working with this. But yeah, thank you to all of them. Thanks to all the drivers tonight for keeping it clean and green all race, and not really causing much trouble at all. I really appreciate that from all of y'all too. And yeah, thanks to Casey and Doc for racing me clean, and once again, congrats to Casey for that win.
Indeed, Gavin, I'm going to shut up now. Do you have any questions for the driver of the Xfinity Truck, Cup Car, or whatever these things are, according to him?
No, I think we'll move on from Toasted's truck car escapades to our wiener here tonight. Casey, the man behind the hot dog, comes home first tonight. So pretty cool to see Casey come home first here at Iowa. He's really strong here. Casey, do you got a copy?
Ooh, my good buddy.
Well, Casey, at first, I don't know how your first two stages went. I noticed that you did get top fives, I believe, in both of them.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken. I know fuel saving not your favorite thing, and Zachary managed to steal both of those stages in epic fashion. But how did your first two stages go, and then how would you explain how your third stage went, where you managed to chase Doc down and take it from him with just a few laps remaining there towards the end of the wire there in that race?
Well, for the first two stages, we had to save there. I mean, Both stages were at least, I think, 27 laps apiece. So there wasn't no way you were just gonna make it straight up. Just had to went to the high line, let people pass, and like you said, not a big fan of fuel saving, but if I have to do it, I guess I can start learning a thing or two, and it paid off tonight. We actually, stayed on a lead lap, finished top 5 both stages, like you said, and we actually accomplished fuel saving for once in our life. And when it comes to the third stage, pretty much the same thing. There's a couple cautions early on. Kind of one of them threw us into fuel saving, another one threw us out, then another one threw us back in. But the last time, it was we only had to save about 1 or 2 laps or so. So I just kind of pitted and then saved a little bit. Let him pull away. I knew he wasn't going to make it.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of just were like a freaking rocket ship right there, blasting off. And really, I mean, I noticed with when we had 6 laps to go, or 7 maybe, I thought Doc had this in the bag, and then I realized that the gap was closing exponential values there. You just seemed to get a burst of speed there at those last couple of laps. Is there anything you can attribute that to? Is just maybe the car was built for the long run, or?
Hey, like I said, we were in the fuel gear there for a little bit, saving a little bit extra in case there happened to be a green-white checkered. Luckily, there wasn't. Almost was. Apparently, somebody wrecked on the last lap. Not sure what happened exactly, but yeah, we just put it back in the race gear. Like I said, I knew he was going to be short, so I just went for it, and we ended up getting in front and getting the victory.
Well, congratulations on your win tonight. I know it's been a long time coming, and you've been hyped to get this win here tonight. And Kevin, I'm going to turn it over to you. Any other questions for the wiener here, Casey Masser?
I do have a couple for our wiener of the evening. Casey, of course, first of all, you picked up a truck win at Chicago last week, but then you went into the truck race last night, and I think you felt like you had a ton of speed. I think I believe that. And you kind of got in some trouble, not of your own doing, really. And you ended up coming up, I think, with a 6th place, but you weren't satisfied with that. You didn't feel like that was a deserving result for you. You come in here tonight, you started on the pole. Obviously, fuel saving went the way it did. You were successful in that, and now you come up here, you're victorious in the Xfinity Series for the first time in RHRL. You keep our 3 winners and 3 races streak going, so that's good as well. It's nice to have some variety, but after the truck race last night, winning here in the Xfinity race, Iowa, same track, nothing went wrong, it seemed, tonight for you. How do you take that?
I take it pretty good. I mean, last night we were looking to have a very good finish there. That race didn't go our way. Got caught up in people, not being able to hold onto their trucks and all. I came out here with some vengeance and, wanted to prove myself tonight, and, we were able to bring it home.
Indeed, and then my normal question, but before that, again, just like Toasted, you have your Xfinity, you'll be in the Xfinity Cup car race tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
At Richmond, another track that's been pretty strong for you. How do you feel like you're going to perform there? I believe you actually got the pole for that as well.
Yes,
so
I
how do you
did.
feel like you're going to line up there?
Oh, well,
Go.
Richmond's another strong track for me. In some aspects, it's kind of like Iowa, so I almost drive it semi the same, I would say, Besides, but there, you get loose off too easier, but, I'm definitely looking forward to tomorrow. That's always a fun place, Sometimes a strategy, sometimes there isn't. We just have to wait and see what happens.
Indeed, and then my final question for you, Mr. Wiener, is is any shout outs, thank yous, anything of that sort for your W tonight?
Yeah, shout out to you guys for, broadcasting. I hope you caught the battle between me and Doc here, Welcome back to him. He's like he never left. Shout out to Toasted for having never been under control tonight. 80s, sideways, wherever you guys may be, but yeah, I don't know. Just shout out to everybody that helps put this stuff on. And also, the cursed car finally won a race.
I didn't even realize that. Why didn't I realize? Anyway, well, that's good. You broke the cursed car and its bad luck streak, so which is ironic because you had bad luck in the truck race last night. So maybe some reverse psychology with that. But either way, congratulations on a win. First, actually, I don't. How many? I think this is actually your second Xfinity. Is this your second Xfinity start of the season? I don't know if you.
Yeah, we raced Daytona.
Yeah, you raced Daytona. I didn't know if you were here last week or not. But either way, so 2 races, 1 win, 50% win ratio right now. I'd say doing pretty good. Good luck in the Cup race tomorrow. We will be watching, sir. Congratulations,
All right, thank you.
sir. Gavin?
Yeah, I mean, that concludes basically the 2 streams for this weekend under my channel, but we're not done here at Red Hot. We got Sunday night action, 10 p.m. Eastern. You're going to catch it on Air Just Cuz's Twitch channel, and that's going to be showcasing the Cup Series, which isn't at Iowa. You're going to get a different track as well, so you're getting kind of a double dose of 2 different short tracks here this weekend, and they'll be going to Richmond. I'll be in that race, surprisingly, and yeah, a lot of fellow competitors out there that are really looking to win this race, and it's gonna be a good one. You're not gonna want to miss it. But for Kevin and me, this has been red hot, and we're glad that you guys could come and watch. We thank all the support, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow here under Air Just Cuz's channel, and we hope to see you there. Thank you.